backlash for the video of his song Not in a Small Town.
As you can see on the screen right here, Jason Aldean files defamation suit against Whoopi Goldberg and The View.
What? Did he really? Hello friends, welcome once again to the Pastor James Reacts channel. Okay, this news is coming from Jason Reloaded here. I'm asking the question, is Jason Aldean really suing Whoopi Goldberg, The View? And also suing, let me get this correct, let me pull the news piece for you here. CMT for $50 million, First Amendment lawsuit. And the allegation is Jason Aldean also filed a defamation lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg, The View. I am no racist. Okay. Let's listen to this. Let's see how true that is. Is it possible? Don't necessarily know. Gotta ask some more questions though. That's one thing definitely we need to do. Let's get to the video.
We just got a huge update in the Jason Aldean situation with his Try That in a Small Town and his cancellation. As you can see on the screen right here, Jason Aldean files defamation suit against Whoopi Goldberg and The View. I am no racist is what Jason Aldean had to say to that situation. If you didn't see my video on Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of The View reacting to Jason Aldean, in my opinion, it definitely was, and I'm no legal expert obviously, it definitely was grounds for defamation. And I think that they're lucky that they haven't gotten sued a whole lot longer ago, because they defame tons and tons of people with no ground to stand on. I mean, the things that Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of them were making up about Jason Aldean and the song Try That in a Small Town, you would think that they never listened to the song. And I'll show you a clip from Whoopi Goldberg's statements and why Jason Aldean would be suing Whoopi Goldberg in just a couple seconds here. But also, we have this news that somehow slid under the radar. I don't think a lot of people have been talking about this, but Jason Aldean is also filing a $58 million First Amendment lawsuit against CMT, the country radio station that censored the Try That in a Small Town song. Let's check out some of the details regarding this lawsuit against Whoopi Goldberg and The View filed by Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean says he's taking the advice of counsel and filing a $40 million defamation suit against Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, Joy, and the rest of the host of ABC's The View. The suit filed in the 65th District Court of Writs and Motions seeks damages from both the show itself as well as the individuals who called Aldean racist. ABC responded by saying they had no idea that the show's host would be so brutal, but held firm that the show is protected First Amendment free speech. What ABC failed to remember is that free speech doesn't save Whoopi from screaming fire in a crowded theater. She needs to pay for her little stunt, said Aldean's attorney. They all do. Their behavior wasn't just abhorrent, it was un-American. Yes, I don't think they would take offense to that statement whatsoever. I don't think they like America at all. I don't think they enjoy being called American. They don't want anything to do with this country. They hate everything that is pro-America. So I don't think that Whoopi Goldberg or Sunny Hostin or Joy Behar, I don't think any of them from The View would have any issue with that statement at all. Whoopi told Cynthia Luhu that she's not worried about another lawsuit she heard about from the Dunning-Kruger Times. Just keep that Skip guy away, sweetie, she told Cindy. I'll give you all the scoops. I like to support the Asian community. Jesus. Luhu told Whoopi that she didn't particularly care for the stereotypes since she's Lithuanian, but she did agree that Skip is a bit of a creep. Let's also check out what Whoopi Goldberg had to say about Jason Aldean in this clip. It's pretty insane what these people have been getting away with, what Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of The View have been getting away with, not just with the Jason Aldean Try That in a Small Town situation, with so many other situations that I've covered over the last year or so of The View just absolutely going in, defaming people, just saying things that straight up aren't true about people just because they dislike them. I can't believe they've lasted this long without a serious lawsuit, at least as far as I know. I'm no expert on The View and their past legal experiences, but from everybody that I have seen them and I have covered them defame, I haven't seen any lawsuits hit them, at least major ones. So let's check out what Whoopi Goldberg actually had to say about Jason Aldean and why his song Try That in a Small Town was so racist.
So country singer Jason Aldean is getting backlash for the video of his song Not in a Small Town.
Not in a small town. You'll see in this clip, I played it already a couple times on stream and in a past video. She messes up so much about this story that, like I said earlier, it seems like Whoopi Goldberg has never even listened to the song Try That in a Small Town or even watched the video, the music video for the song.
Which critics are saying is racist. It's got lyrics, racist lyrics, and images. Aldean says the song's about unity. Here's South Dakota Christy Noem defending him. Here's the clip.
So she hasn't gotten anything right so far. And we're going to skip over this clip because it's just kind of irrelevant for this video. We want to see what Whoopi had to say and why Jason Aldean is suing Whoopi Goldberg. So let's check out the rest of what Whoopi had to say here.
Play anywhere? You own South Dakota now? Listen, you know, there are lyrics in the song, and I think, you know, he talks about life in a small town and it's different, you know, and he shows these images. He's got folks from the Black Lives Matter movement, and he's talking about people taking care of each other. And I find it so interesting that never occurred to Jason or the writers that that's what these folks were doing. They were taking care of the people in their town because they didn't like what they saw. Just like you talk about people taking care of each other in small towns. We do the same thing in big towns. You just have to realize that when you make it...
You just gotta realize, Jason, that whenever they're setting buildings on fire, blowing cars up, setting dumpsters on fire and everything like that, assaulting people, that's all just them standing in solidarity with each other. They're just taking care of each other, Jason. Like, you just gotta understand where Whoopi's coming from and where these rioters are coming from, man.
About Black Lives Matter, people kind of say, well, are you talking about black people? What are you talking about here? If we're talking about Americans taking care of each other, then it shouldn't be about Black Lives Matter. You should be able to show all the different things that have gone on in our country where people stood up and said no more. We do the same thing that small towns do. That's my 2 cents to that.
And there was a whole like 15 or 20-minute segment that they did just trashing on Try That in a Small Town, trashing on Jason Aldean, calling him racist, saying that the town he's from is racist, and calling the song racist over and over again. You can see why, if you watch especially the entire segment, why he would be suing them, why he would be suing The View and Whoopi Goldberg specifically for defamation. You could definitely see in that clip, you could see that there's some grounds, but if you watch the entire thing, I already did a video on it, so if you want to go check that out, I go over all of the clips of all of them just trashing on this song and defaming Jason Aldean and the song of Try That in a Small Town. So if you didn't see that, I would definitely recommend you go check that out. But let me know what you're thinking about Jason Aldean actually standing his ground and suing Whoopi Goldberg and The View for saying that he is racist. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking.
Okay. Great presentation, Justin Reloaded. I'm going to put a link in the description below. I'm not sold on this news. I'm not sold. I listen and I'm looking at the argument that's being brought up here. Whoopi Goldberg's comments were rude, but it's The View. Okay, that's what The View does. They're supposed to have no view. They're supposed to sound really let me be honest. They sound ridiculous, right? That's what they're supposed to do, and that's how they get their view, right? They get people to watch them. So again, was her comment racist? Particularly, is this ground for lawsuit? I don't think so. I don't see that in those comments, although I do agree. I think Sonny Hostin was worse, although she didn't directly say that he was racist, but she did say, you know, we have a problem in this country, and that's acknowledging that racism exists, something like that. Yeah, I'm not buying this. I'm not sold out on this idea. So let's find out who these people are. The American Last Line of Defense, the Dunning-Kruger Times. They say themselves, and I'm reading from their website, Dunning-Kruger-Times.com is a subsidiary of the American Last Line of Defense network of parody, satire, and tomfoolery, or as the Snoops called it today, they lost their way on the satire, junk news. So I can't run with this when we know it's almost like the Babylon Bee kind of thing. You know, Babylon Bee does something similar with their news. So if it's a satire, a parody, that's kind of what they do. I don't think it's a good idea to run with the idea that Jason Aldean is suing them. Now, I would love for Jason Aldean to sue some of these people, not just Jason Aldean, but every person that these people have defamed. And I think I have no respect for them whatsoever because of that. They've managed to lie and deceive and misrepresent people's character on their show all the time. So I wish like The View will get more lawsuits. I really wish that you can kind of sue them to the point where they no longer exist. I'm so serious because I realize how much hate and bigotry comes from The View. So there was a fact checker here. You know, sometimes when these fact checkers are not always telling the truth, but sometimes they do get it right. So this was fact checked, proven to be a lie according to their research, and they did speak about how the American last line of defense is also a parody and so on. So, and it's also on their website. So the story is collaborating. So we're not having enough facts to run with the idea that Jason Aldean is suing The View or Whoopi Goldberg. I don't see Whoopi Goldberg comments as racist. Well, they are racist. They make a lot of racist comments and jokes about people. They do defame people. I don't think they're getting enough lawsuits. I wish they had more lawsuits coming their way so that even if they win, but just the whole process of them going through it could eventually, you know, kind of like what's happening to Fox News, just cause them to lose a lot of money. So I don't believe that news in itself. But the idea sounded good. It sounded good. You know, where does the Bible stand when it comes to lawsuit? I think this is an opportunity to ask a very important question. And I think I know there are some Christians who say we should never sue anyone. There are some who say it doesn't necessarily matter. Let me show you what the Bible says. And I want to take an opportunity to share this with you quickly. Okay, here's what the Bible says. Dare any of you having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust, not before the saints. So this is in context of people in church, number one. So what does it say? Do not know that the saints shall judge the world and shall be judged. Okay, if the world shall be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matter? So the church ought to be doing the work of judging each other in the church. If there's something going on, we shouldn't be running to the unjust, which is talking about those people in the world, people who does not know what's going on inside the church. We shouldn't go to them to talk about the issues that are going on in the church. Now, it's different when laws are violated. It's one thing that something is doing something that is against the law. Cops have to be involved in everything like that. That's a different case. But there are issues in the church. It could be gossip. It could be a situation, something with involving families of some sort. We take care of each other. But here's the point. Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? So here is the thing. Is this a good passage to say that Christians should not sue or take people to court? No, it's not. Actually, this is being used in that way, but that's why I'm making the argument. If the person is a Christian, right? If we are family, we don't take each other to court. We take care of each other in the home, in the church, right? We deal with this matter for what it is because we believe in God. But when you're dealing with somebody who is not of your family, who is not considered a Christian, all right, or The View, or anybody who is either taking advantage of you and there's no way for you to get back what belongs to you, oh yeah, you have ground for lawsuits. Yes, you do. And it's very Christian to sue them. Actually, in Matthew 5, Jesus talks about the importance of that. Even God himself, in one of the parables in Matthew 25, speaks about how he's almost like God is speaking of those people who he had given certain talents to, who did not use the talents accordingly. He says, I'm going to get my money back with interest. In a sense, it's like, I'm suing you. So, but he's speaking in the context of judgment, of course. So anyway, friends, I don't buy this news. I don't know where you stand when it comes to that. I'm not buying it. I wish Jason Aldean the very best. I pray that the video will continue to get more views and to make a lot more money on it. Thank you for taking a bold stand. It's beautiful. I wish he had sued The Views, but I'm not sure if there's enough ground for that now. And I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'm not buying this. So I think The Views need to get some more threats concerning to this being sued or some sort, maybe they will be careful how they speak, because they say some of the most obnoxious claims I've ever heard. Anyway, friends, like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. If you have news concerning this, if you have other things that could collaborate the story, if you have something else you want to share with me, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. Link in the description below. Like and subscribe to the page if you happen to be new. Click the bell icon for more. Have a good one. Bye.